everyone, welcome to CLK'S Gaming. Today we are in the Simrail. So as you know, the Simrail currently available in full version, and also Simrail has ended its early access. So you can see one new route is added into the game. So we'll try this route today. We'll operate the train from this station to this station. I can't pronounce the names of the stations because it is not my language. My language is English. It is like a Polish language, I think, because this route is from Poland. Let's go into this scenario and try to operate the train. You can see we have a choice of three different types of weather. So we'll choose the rainy weather. Then we can choose any one locomotive from here. We'll choose the EU07 because I know how to operate this locomotive.
Welcome to CLK'S scenario Starzyny, Kraków. Prepare the train for departure and set the course for the branch post in Starzyny.
We have got the instructions to prepare this train. Let me check if the auxiliary system is turned on or not. You can see the battery is turned on, so all the auxiliary system is in working condition. The pantograph is also in a raised position, so we need to just release the brakes. Radio is in working position. The direction control is in forward direction. You can see our train is finally going into the forward direction because of the gradient. The headlamps are in on position. Instrument lights we will turn on. From here you can turn on the wipers. Let's increase the throttle position. So this is our throttle, which is looking like a car steering. So after 2.5 kilometers we are having a red signal. We'll turn off the overlays which are not required. This the overlay is required, this is not required. Close the station overlay because we have the information here, how much distance is remaining and everything. After the launch of the full version of this game, you can see the different weather settings are available in the game. Today we have chosen the rainy weather. You can see first time we are seeing a rainy weather in this game. This is how the rain looks in Simrail. You can see the reflections on the train and the scenery. It is looking quite good.
73-100 to Starzyny.
Receiving 73-100.
Go on the left track to Kozłów. Pendolino will pass you on the track to the right.
Left track to Kozłów, roger that.
So the radio is informing us that some Pandolino train is going to overtake us. Let's see what happens next. We'll now increase the speed because we are having 120 kmph speed limit and we are running very slow. I'll try a shunt regulator which will increase the current of the motor so that the acceleration will also get increased. You can see the current of the traction motor is increasing, and so that the acceleration is also increasing. So the 28 was the resistant position. At resistant position only we can take the help of the shunt regulator. So we are currently on a non-resistant position. The next resistant position of this throttle is 43. We'll learn more about it in the next videos if you don't know. So we are 3 minutes late through this checkpoint. You can see the signal is clear, so we'll now increase the speed. We'll use the shunt regulator to increase more amount of current. can see we are getting 160 kmph speed limit and current speed is 95, but I think this train maximum speed limit is 120 only for this train. The 160 and 200 is for Pendolino type of trains. This red light blinking means the safety system, which is a vigilance system of the train. If we fail to acknowledge it, it will apply the emergency brakes. Can see us at 1450 we are having a stop. We are having total 3 stops, including the last stop of the train. After applying the brakes, you need to make the throttle 0 and then again you can apply it, because applying the brakes will reduce the current to the 0. Will maintain this much amount of speed to avoid the overspeeding. You can see the compressor is now started to maintain the pressure of the main reservoir. This is the horn, this is low tone and this is high tone. You can see the speed is again increasing, so we'll reduce that amount of throttle. We will use the loco brake wherever required to maintain the speed. So these are the different types of camera angles you can see inside the train also. So only 7 kilometers left. This is not our stop, but this is our checkpoint. The time to cross this checkpoint was 1440, but you can see it is already 1441 in the clock, so we'll be late by 3 to 4 minutes at that checkpoint also. We'll try to maintain the speed and try to cover the distance, because we are not having so much stops on our today's journey. You can see only 2 stops in between, so we can cover up the whatever the time we have wasted. As you know, we have covered a lot of time in our Train Sim World 5 videos. So covering up the delays of this type of high-speed trains is very easy. You just have to run your train at maximum possible speed. It will automatically help you to cover the time you have. You can see the Pendolino is overtaking us to the right hand side. It is overtaking because our train is slow speed train and that train is having 160 kmph speed limit, and our train is having only 120 kmph speed limit, because the maximum speed of this locomotive is 125 kmph. I don't know why it is overtaking like that from the right hand side tracks, because generally the right hand side tracks are for the oncoming trains which are going in the opposite direction. I have seen this type of thing first time only, like some train is overtaking us from the right hand side when there are only 2 tracks. When there are 4 or 6 tracks, it is a general thing, but when there are only 2 tracks, it is not a common thing. The people on the level crossing will also get confused that 2 trains are running in the same direction. You can see this signboard indicates that you should sound the horn, and you will get 50 points for that. So you should keep eye on that. And this R4 means radio channel 4. So we'll change the channel of the radio to the 4. Okay, we have switched the channel. After 15 kilometers we are having a red signal, because after 15 kilometers we have to stop at one station. Again we got penalty of -10 points due to not sounding the horn. You can see again that sign came, so it added the plus 50 points. So this is how you can increase your level rapidly. There are the sensors in the locomotive which tracks the train if the train is braking or accelerating. So accordingly it manages the amperes of the traction motor to reduce the stress on the traction motor. If your traction motor is simultaneously applying the power and you are braking, so it might overload the traction motor, so that's why this cutoff sensors are there to cut off the traction motor power whenever you are applying the brakes, so that will improve your braking efforts and also it will reduce the stress on the traction motors. Our next stop time is 14:50 and we are 4 minutes late, so we'll reach at our next stop at 14:54 or 14:55, something like that. Let's turn off this shunt regulator because we are already running in high speed. As you can see, only 8 kilometers are remaining for our first stop, and after our first stop the second stop is only 10 minutes away from the first stop. So after second stop only we can cover the whatever time we have wasted in the initial startup of the train. Just 5 kilometers are remaining for our first stop, and the 2 kilometers are remaining. We'll start applying the brakes because I am also playing after a lot of time. I may not be accurate in the braking of this particular locomotive, so we'll start to apply the brakes before 2 kilometers. We can apply the brakes before 1 kilometer, but we'll not take a risk. We are already 1 minute late. I think we'll be late by 3 or 4 minutes. Not 3 or 4, I think 5 or 6 minutes we'll get late to the first stop, because this train is having only 120 km/h speed limit. If our train was having 160 km/h speed limit, then we might have covered this time. You can see the yellow signal, which means the caution signal we got finally. I think before the station we are having a red signal here, but the red signal might be due to this freight train also. So let's see, I don't know the exact cause of the red signal. Let's try with the radio if it clears. I think our signal will get cleared after the radio check. Yeah, I can see the signal is now clear. You need to check the radio also to tell them that you are approaching. I think we'll get late by 7 to 8 minutes to the station. You can see the acceleration of this train. After your traction motors will get overloaded, you need to unlock this relay of traction motor overload, and after unlocking that relay you can again increase the throttle. Try to increase the speed because still 1 kilometer left. So this is our first stop. You can read the name, I can't pronounce it. see we are approximately 7 minutes late to our first stop. We are now ready to depart, so we'll sound the horn and depart from the station. You can see after 200 meters we are having 40 kmph speed limit, so we'll need to follow the speed limit. After 200 meters you can see we are getting 120 kmph speed limit, so after that point we can increase our speed. You can see our last car is crossed, and you can see the speed limit is also increased, so we'll now increase the speed. We'll try to maintain around 500 amperes in the current to avoid the overloading of the traction motors. You can see our current speed limit is 110, and after 2 kilometers we are getting 100 kmph speed limit. I think this is due to the curves only. You can see a lot of curves are there on the track. The track is not completely straight. This is the speedometer, you might already know. So we are 9 minutes delayed at this checkpoint, and just 9 kilometers our second stop is coming. Due to the gradient our speed again increased, you can see. Again we are getting 110 kmph speed limit. You can see only 7 kilometers are remaining for our second stop. Now we'll try to maintain the speed of the train to cover the delay of the train. We'll need to keep an eye on the boards, the changes in the radio channels and other things. Only 3 kilometers are remaining for our second stop. Can see just 2 kilometers are remaining. So let's Let's reduce the speed. Finally, we are arriving at our second stop of this journey, and the next stop will be the destination of this train. And, or you can see it will be the last stop of the today's journey. Welcome to the second stop of our today's journey. Let's stop this train at the station. Now we can try to cover the time. You can see direct at 15:27 we are having next stop.
73, 101 departure.
Still we are delayed by the 9 minutes. You can see some freight train is there in the loop line waiting for our train. Some low priority trains are kept in the loop line like freight train, cargo trains. Passenger trains will be given a higher priority to overtake the freight trains, because maintaining the time is very crucial aspect in terms of the passenger trains. So let's turn down this sun visor because the sun is there from the front. Try to maintain around the 500 amps to avoid the overloading of the traction motors. Lot of level crossings are there, that's why the horn signs are coming continuously. So a lot of checkpoints are there to cover, you can see. We don't have much amount of time to cover this much of checkpoints. 15:27 is the time of our destination. You can see We have only 10 minutes to reach at our destination on time. We are trying to maintain the speed, but I don't think at this much amount of speed we'll able to cover that time. A lot of level crossings are there. Ten minutes delayed at this checkpoint. Next checkpoint is after the 5 kilometers. You can see after 3 kilometers we'll cross the next checkpoint. You can see the landscapes are very beautiful. We are moving through the countryside of the Poland. You can see it is not very easy to gain all the points this game, because you have to keep an eye on the oncoming horn signs and radio signs, and simultaneously you have to keep an eye on the speed and brake indicators to maintain the speed, because there is not any cruise control type of option on this locomotive, because these locomotives are olden type of locomotives. You can see they are very old, so that's why we are not having any cruise control option in this locomotive, so we need to manually adjust the speed according to the gradient and all. It is very tricky to do it. You can see this train is having around 8 to 10 coaches. A lot of curves are there on this train. Few more checkpoints are there to go. You can see the traffic is also increasing as we are approaching at our destination, because the destination station might be some big junction station. are still delayed by 11 minutes at every checkpoints. You can see our next signal after 2 kilometers is showing red aspect. So I'll try to use the radio. You can see the signal got green. Some big train, big local train you can see. And now currently we are delayed by the 12 minutes. You can see on this board. You can see due to the uphill gradient we have increased the throttle and our speed is now increasing. We'll try to maintain 100 kmph. The radio channel is finally changed, but I didn't notice the board. But let's see what happens. I think the channel 1 is there only. As you can see, some freight train is crossing. Now we'll reduce the speed. As you can see, at the next signal our speed limit is 40 kmph. Shortly before the next signal we are getting 60 kmph speed limit. As you can see, at this signal we are having 40 kmph speed limit. I think finally we are now entering into our destination. As you can see, some big station. It is our destination. Finally, this is our total 1 hour journey of the train, and we are 10 to 12 minutes late at our destination, you can see. So we have failed to cover the delay of the train, and the delay got increased up to 10 to 12 minutes. Initially it was 3 to 4 minutes only, and due to speed limitations and complications it got increased up to 12 minutes. So next time we'll try to play some another scenario more accurately to avoid the delay. Finally, we are now stopped at our last station and the scenario got completed. So that's it for today's video. We took total 1 hour 6 minutes to complete this total journey. So thank you so much for watching this video. Have a nice day.